I am the host, Richard Ravenbrook, a man, a life coach, and a spiritual mentor who has endeavored to find real spiritual truth and self-enlightenment. With experiences in various ministry types, pagan traditions, and even magical paths. With a love for Mother Earth and the balance of life, I work to channel spirit and to help educate and mentor those striving to deconstruct from mainstream religion and to empower them to find the divinity within themselves and to the truth around them. The messages are focused on everyday life, creating an environment of real coexistence, a world of mutual respect, love, and dignity. The pagan preacher is all things, the preacher and the pagan, speaking from the wisdom of spirit. Welcome everybody, merry meet. This is Reverend Richard Kent. Some call me Ravenbrook. We're going to be changing some things up here on the podcast. The last few episodes, probably we have about 11 episodes. They're going to put those into a chapter 1, and we're going to be moving into a chapter 2 and kind of blended things in with the Pagan Empire Incorporated and the Ravenbrook Sanctuary. The Ravenbrook Sanctuary is a interfaith, pagan-minded, communist, kind of eclectic sanctuary for people to discuss, for people to sit down and realize the commonalities and the similarities in our religions and in our belief systems and so we're going to be changing some things up a little bit. Before I wasn't calling myself Reverend, even though the title has been there for many, many years, but I have accepted a new ordination. It is an esoteric interfaith minister. But I'm not, this isn't about me. But what I want to talk about today, here it is, April 10th of 2023. We've had another mass shooting in Kentucky. And we get you thinking about these things. And I know we're going to have, when you talk about politics and things, and I don't want to get into the politics of this because that's not where this is going, but I want to get into the spirituality part of what is happening and why it's happening and what we can do to end these kind of crazy violence and reckless acts of hate. How do we fix these things? And I want to say it's extremely easy, even though it isn't extremely easy. It's not easy because of stubborn people and stubborn religions and stubbornalities within people that people just won't give just a little. Laws don't stop anybody from doing anything. It's been known for many, many years, centuries in fact, that laws do not stop bad people from doing bad things. All they do is restrict good people from doing good things. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't have laws. Of course we should have laws. But the reason why some of these crazy acts of violence and reckless acts of hate are because of hate. They are because of bullying. It's because of people being told that they're worthless. Because of people being told that they're evil. Their whole life. And I'm talking about people, within the LGBT communities, the trans communities, the pagan communities, that anything that is outside of that normal box of what is acceptable in the United States culture, that is the issue. Here in this country, and I'm just going to focus on this country alone because I know it's on other countries, but we're going to focus on the United States because that's where our main issues are right now. It really, even trying to talk about it, it it grieves the spirit because you know the answers. You know the answers. And even in good intention, we have religious, zealous people out there that are saying that they cannot accept certain things because their God says that they can't. And they constantly wage war upon people because they're different, because they believe different, because they don't want their children or their grandchildren being around anything that's different. But that's hate. Whether you believe it's hate. I've heard many Christians, radical Christians say, well, we don't hate the person, we just hate the sin. But there is no room for hate anymore. Hate is the problem. Why can't we just let people be? Why can't we just let people live the lives that they choose and focus on ourselves? Even biblically, it says to worry about the stick that's in your own eye before you go to, telling somebody else about the stick in their eye. That's the whole idea. That we should treat people like we would want to be treated. And, even growing up, I'm sure we were all different in some ways. But were we ridiculed? Were we denied certain things because we were different? Probably not. But people in this country are being denied. They're being denied basic human rights, basic human dignity because of religious, zealous people out there that, though they, in their heart, they are doing the right thing. But we've got to find a way to convince and to discuss and to debate, if have to, that this is what's got to stop. The only way to peace, the only way to stop these crazy acts of violence is acceptance. Now, that doesn't mean you have to accept someone's lifestyle as being okay. But you can accept the fact that it is their lifestyle and it is theirs to live. And it is not up to you to choose or to say what is right and what is wrong. That is the problem with this country. We have people trying to play God or whatever God it may be. But right now we have very religious zealots out there that want to push, a Christian nation, and we can't have a Christian nation and be a free nation because that restricts all other religions. It limits all other religions. We have to remove religion from politics. We have to remove religion from every aspect of society except in our homes and your temples or churches or whatever it may be. When you are in public, you are in a neutral space. When you're at home, you can be whatever it is that you choose to be. When your children get to a certain age, they have the right to choose themselves. But in this country, people want to control this. Well, we have to control this. We have to do this because God says so. Well, my question is, well, if God is so mighty and so powerful, why isn't God doing anything about it? But maybe he is doing something about it. Maybe the gods are doing something about it. Just people aren't listening. Maybe if we just sat down and actually listened to each other, truly understood each other, truly discussed the things that matter the most. And when it comes to religious law and what can be done, what should be done, what can't be, these things, thousands of years old, and thousands of years later, our world is worse now than it was then. Laws don't work. It has to be within the person. Change comes from within. Goodness comes from within. It's a spiritual thing. But we cannot convince people to be good people, all while telling them that they're evil and that they are unacceptable in this world, that who they are is a disgrace and disgusting, we can't be saying these kind of things and then trying to say, well, we love you. Because if that's love, then it should be quite obvious to what is wrong with this world. But there is a way out of this. There truly is. And I know many people would not have ever thought that maybe an organization called the Pagan Empire might have that answer. But there is the answer. And that is simply that mutual respect of differences. And I've said it over and over and over. That we don't have to be the same. We don't have to believe the same. Maybe someday we will. Maybe someday if we can kind of lower these religious laws and just start being the people that we're supposed to be, loving each other, working together, being our brother's keeper, our sister's keeper, maybe if we start doing those things, we will fall into one belief. One belief that is, spiritually uplifting and enlightening for all people. And it really, and my tongues get tied, my tongue kind of gets tied a little bit when I get to talking to these things, because there's such like a rush, the spiritual things that you just kind of rush through your mind, and you want to say so much, but the physical capabilities are less than what the spiritual capabilities are, if that makes any sense. Sometimes when Spirit, gives an idea, sometimes it can be an equivalent to 2 or 3 pages of words within a split second. And sometimes that is physically hard to spit out. But you know what? I think we all kind of know what the truth is. The truth is we don't know the truth, do we? We don't know everything about this world. We don't know everything about God or gods or the goddesses. We don't, we have our beliefs. We have our traditions of what we were brought up as, the books that we've read, the traditions that have been passed down. But do we know for a fact anything is fact? No, we don't. We're all just seekers. We're all just learners in this life, on this journey. We are on a spiritual journey in a physical vessel. But we've really gone astray as a people. All these different religions, all these different paths. So many people saying that, they have the only path and all the other paths just don't have it. I had a vision once, been many years ago, and it was about just this, about all the different religions in this world. And it kind of was, there was this little boy, and he was standing in a circle, and around that circle was all different types of religions. There was Christianity and Muslim and, the Buddhist and just all the different religions in this world, all screaming to the boy, to come into them, to come to them, that they had the truth, that they could help him, and that they had everything that he needed. But you know what happened? Is the boy just ran off and never went to any of them. Ran off into the woods and forsake, every one of them, even though they had the best intentions, even though they wanted the best for this young man. All they did was scared him off because of the chaos that was within that circle of all these people saying, hey, it's us, it's us, it's us. Maybe if we just laid down that need to play God, that need to save souls, the need to teach our belief or whatever it may be. And I know some of these podcasts, I know sometimes they will get into like a preachy kind of attitude, but that's who I am. That's what I do. I come from being a preacher, even though I have a very communist viewpoint and a very pagan mindset as well. There's still that essence of spiritual that, a preacher is always going to be a preacher. Maybe preaching different things, maybe different, it may not be the Christian preacher, just the, the interfaith, that this isn't about one religion, that this is about spirituality. That, this is a preacher of spirituality, not religion, not laws, not anything of that nature. And I think that's what makes this just a little bit different. That's what makes the Ravensbrook Sanctuary very different, because it's not about one religion. It's about spirituality. It's about finding the truth in spirituality and finding enlightenment for all people, looking at all the different religions and finding the commonalities and the similarities in those religions in order to find peace in this country and in this world. And in doing so, I think, I feel, and I know that things like the mass shootings and the crazy violence and all this reckless hate would come to an end, or at least would come to a very minimal compared to what it is right now. We can't, we just make more laws and that'll make things better. We just need to take away this or take away that and that'll make things better. No, it won't. And I'm here to tell you, no, it won't. It won't make any difference at all. When someone wants to hurt somebody, they're going to hurt somebody, whether they have a particular weapon or not a particular weapon. What has to happen is we've got to find the root of the cause. Why did this person do this? People are going to, out there, they're saying, well, these people were crazy when they do these kind of things. And I would agree. They are, anybody that does something like that has to have, something mentally unstable at that particular time, or, there's something wrong there. But the root thing is, what caused that? Why did they feel the way they feel? Why did they feel they had to act the way they acted? Was it that bullying? Was it the religious persecution of people telling them that they were worthless and that they couldn't ever be anything in this world, or that they were disgusting, or that they were going to be unacceptable in this world? And because if you really think of it that way, it's not the shooter that killed everybody. It's the people that, how do you say that? It's the people that did what they did to that person that ultimately killed those people with that gun. That's the root. Now, that doesn't make, that doesn't condone or give excuses for the person who did this, but it gives a reasoning to why it's happening, why these things are happening. We can't very well say, well, those people are crazy and they need help, and be the same ones that caused the issue in the first place. Many of us, I see it on a daily basis. I see people that are, they say they love people. They say they love each other. They spread love. They spread the message of love. But yet all I see is bias, hate, bigotry, and selfishness. I see an arrogance, that they believe that they have the whole truth and everyone else is just ignorant of the truth. And that most definitely is not the truth. The truth of the matter is we're all given this life. We're all given choice. And I truly believe in choice. And we don't have that choice if we are constantly told what we can do, what we can't do, what we should do. And these are the things that are causing these issues. Everything from the mass shootings to just different crimes to theft to, just whatever it may be. There is a root cause of everything that is happening right now. The pagan empire started because people couldn't even have a festival outside without being persecuted and told they were going to go to hell. They couldn't have a metaphysical store or a pagan-minded store on the square because, well, that might interfere with some of the religious people that are in that area and it might conflict, or we can't have big symbols of paganism out there, but we sure can have big symbols of Christianity out there. What we see is an extreme bias behavior and attitudes towards anything that's not in that normalness of society. And these are the things that are causing these issues. It's not lack of laws, it's lack of mutual respect. It's lack of understanding. It's lack of people letting go of control. People need to let go of control. Stop trying to be God. If somebody's doing something that is not hurting someone unwillingly, leave them alone. Well, I can't accept what they do. Nobody's asking you to accept what they do. All you have to do is accept that it's their right to do it. And it is. That's all we have to do. Us focus on us and ours, and let them focus on them. We can still work together in society. We can still work together, even if we educate our children to that same fact that they are allowed to be who it is they are. And you can be whoever it is that you are. Don't be afraid. We shouldn't be afraid, but if our children see that them doing these things, that they might want to do them too. Well, that's a choice. And it's up to you to educate them on those choices. Teach them the right ways, teach them the ways and they will follow the path that is for them to follow if they've been educated and taught in the right ways. And if we believe in God or the gods or the goddesses, then we certainly have to believe if they're this powerful, and I believe that they are, then let them handle those issues. And I've said this many, many times. Let humanity just be humanity. Let mankind just be mankind, and let us work together and let the gods work out the rest. Because that is the issue. I know we were left here on this earth. I know that we were given domain over this earth. And it was up to us to guide and protect and control to the point of protection of the earth. Control in a nutshell would be making sure that Mother Earth is taken care of and that people are given the freedoms that they should be given. But we've totally lost that, haven't we? We have basically destroyed this world. We have run all kinds of creatures into, they don't even exist anymore. They're completely wiped out. We have destroyed cultures. We've destroyed religions. We've destroyed people's, and if we really look into these things, we can see that, evil has been brought into life through religion, and it still is happening. Now, that doesn't mean religion in itself is bad, but it's what mankind sometimes does with religion. It's what mankind does with the fear in religion. When people get into fear God or fear the gods or anything of that nature, then they have a system of control. And those are the things that we've got to let go of. The Ravensbrook Sanctuary is just for that. We sit down and we're not afraid of any God. We're not afraid of eternal torture. We're not afraid of anything other than maybe not achieving everything that we could in this life and being everything we could in this life, understanding everything for what it is. This life is a journey, but many of us, never actually live that life because we're so busy trying to find something else or live something else or be something else that we never actually truly live the life that we could have lived. That free, open life that, where we're free to explore and free to to see new things and to move about. You know, we limit ourselves and we're slaves to debt and we're slaves to, you know, that's what we've done in society. And people are tired. People are very tired. They're tired of being slaves to debt. They're tired of being told that they can't do this or they can't do that or they can't or they won't be accepted. This world is big enough for everybody. This world is big enough for everybody to be whatever it is that they want to be. Nobody's trying to push anything down anybody's throat except religion. And we all know that, you know, the biggest people that say, I don't want that pushed down my throat are the very people that are pushing things down people's throats. The whole point of this podcast is to stop these things from happening. We have to gain a new form, a new way of mutual respect and understanding. We have to use wisdom rather than just pure law that says, no, this is the way it can be and this is the way that it can't be. You know, no, we can't do that anymore. This is 2023. We know those things do not work. They never have worked. You know, there is much good in probably most religions. But when we take out the spiritual part, when we take out the humanity part of it, when we take out the exploration part of it and the journey part of it, and just put in laws of what people can do and what they can't do, it's a prison. And we were not put here on this planet. We were not given life, no matter what you believe. We were not given life just to be slaves to what somebody else said that what is right and wrong. We have to let people live the life that they choose. That's why people are doing the things they're doing. That's why these acts of violence and these reckless acts of hate, because people are reaching a point in their life where they don't know anything else to do. They react. They do stupid, crazy things that could have been prevented if people would just love each other, understand each other, and just let people be. You know, I hope this message has kind of reached someone, and I hope that I've said it in a way that, you know, because I know sometimes when spirit gets going, sometimes I can ramble, like sometimes I can run. You know, the podcast will be changing here in the next week or two. Of course, we're getting new equipment, but it will be in more of a, you know, with guests. More focused into, you know, the Ravenbrook sanctuary and the, you know, the ideal is of trying to educate and teach and to just help bring that peace into this world through studying different religions and studying the different avenues of paganism and everything. Even we're going to even go into the Christian witch, you know, different things of that nature to gain an understanding of what people are and how they feel and what they think and how these things work. You know, we have to get to the point where, you know, we need to understand people rather than just judge them, rather than just saying, well, that's just impossible. You can't do this. No, we need to sit down. We need to have unbiased discussion and true education. We need to understand the facts before we make any internal judgment. And by internal judgment, I mean when we decide for ourselves whether it's for us or not. We don't make the decision of whether it's right or wrong, only if it's right or wrong for us. That's what we do. That's all we should ever do. Whether it be a religion, or whether it be somebody's just ideas or somebody's opinions, you know, we can go from that and say, you know, well, that's just not for me, but I respect the fact that it is for you, you know, and we move on. It's that simple. But for some reason in this society, we want a war against people that do these things. We want a war against people that, you know, that want, for some reason, feel that they want everyone to conform to what they want in life. And that's not what they want. All they want is for you to let them have their freedom. That's all it is that they want. The same thing that you want. The same thing that everybody wants. The right to be able to wake up every morning and be the person that they are, that you are. Whether you be a Christian, whether you be Hindu, whether you be Muslim, if you woke up every day and somebody was telling you that you were unacceptable, or that you were trash, or that you couldn't do this, or you couldn't do that, I think you understand what I'm saying. I don't even have to go into that, because you know what I'm saying. And it's so much easier just to let people be. This has been Richard Kent. Some people call me Ravenbrook. The Pagan Empire Incorporated, the Pagan Empire Podcast, and the Ravensbrook Sanctuary. I want to ask everybody, if you could, we do have a link to sponsor or to assist the podcast. Anything for as low as $3 a month, it really helps, because these things obviously aren't free. Everything from the equipment to the service, the hosting, and everything else. Any bit of help you could do is definitely appreciated. But remember, you should check out our website at www.thepaganempire.com. We even have a link tree, all the different links, our Facebook groups, and just all kinds of different things that we're doing. The Pagan Pen Pal program, of course, like I said, the Ravensbrook Sanctuary, the Worldwide Sanctuary that we're getting ready to really get going here pretty soon. But think about it, everybody. Just think about what I've said. Mutual respect of differences. Thank you, everyone. This is Richard Ravenbrook. From my heart to yours, I hope you are blessed. Please be a blessing. Share these podcasts. Share my short videos. Tell the world the work that's being done. Help me open the minds of those so closed. Help me bring into the fold those seeking truth and enlightenment. Be blessed.